Hello and happy spring. Hello, hi, thank you for joining. My name is Nelly and I am an aspiring indie author, and I'd like to wish you a happy spring. So today's video isn't necessarily like a serious thing. It's more, I just want to document it so that in 3 months time I can look back and be like, yeah, I did that. I definitely did not do that. So it's pretty chill, you know. I just randomly thought of like the ones off the top of my head that I really want to accomplish this next 3 month part of 2021. So I wrote them down and we're just gonna talk about it right now. And I just realized I didn't say this is a spring goals video, which I'm sure you saw from the title. But yeah, it's just a few of the goals that I want to accomplish this next 3 month period. It's not a lot, but it's still there. So I have broken up the goals into a few different sections, and we're gonna start off with YouTube because this is going on YouTube, so I figure we should start off with that one. And I only have one goal for YouTube, and you're gonna think it's kind of ridiculous because it is ridiculous, but like I cannot help it. And it's just to get to 5 subscribers, and that's basically because on Social Blade, you don't like a page for you doesn't pop up until you have 5 subscribers. So like if you look at my name will pop up, but if you try to click, it's like, oh, this person like doesn't have 5 subscribers, so like we don't have a page for them. And I'm like, oh my god, I just want a page. So it sounds ridiculous, but I just want to get to 5 subscribers so I can show up on that page. But yeah, I feel like that's not a lot to ask for in 3 months. Mind you, though, I've been at this for like 2 months and I'm still at 0, so it might be a lot for me to ask for in 3 months. The next one I'm going to talk about is publishing, and I'm just throwing this in like lightly because I technically don't have publishing goals for the spring time. Summer and fall are definitely going to have a lot more. Fall's definitely going to have a lot more. But for the spring, I have a tentative start a newsletter. I say tentative because I figure I should probably try to grow here a little bit so that I have people going to sign up for my newsletter. Because like if I started one today, no one would sign up for it. You know? So I don't know. That's there maybe in June because summer starts June 21st. So we have until June 21st to maybe possibly start the newsletter. I know it's such an important part of indie publishing, and it's always what people say is like, oh, I wish I started one sooner. And I'm like, okay, I'm up here soon, but like if no one's gonna be subscribed to it, I'm not, like, what's the point of starting one? I don't know. I'm thinking maybe in June I might start it, but we'll see. My next section is writing, and this one is definitely a longer section because that's basically what this entire channel is for, and that is to start getting through these series. So basically, if you're not aware, I'm in the middle of one series, but I'm kind of like in the middle of 2. Here's what's going on. The first series is a 4-book series. I have the first 3 books fully written. The first one, I'm in the middle of edits right now. And then once this first one is off the beta readers, I'm going to go and outline book 4. Well, I'm going to go reread 2 and 3 and then outline book 4. And then I plan on writing book 4 in like May or June. I feel like May or June, or May and June. So that's the goal. And the goal really is to finish the series. So have book 4 written, and then I'll have the entire complete series. Mind you, before like I even write the outline for book 4, when I'm rereading books 2 and 3, I'm gonna be making notes on a bunch of the stuff I can change / edit, you know, for when I go into for edits. Because in July I'll be going in for book 2 edits. But that's in summer, so I'm not gonna put that here. So the goal for spring is just to have the entire quartet finished, and I think it's very likely to happen. If I keep going with my schedule at the moment, we will be good. I'm about halfway through book 1 edits right now. I have it like written out to see how much I have to edit every day to have it finished by the end of March. So that I still have a little bit of time in April to reread it, like go over it real quick, and then send it to betas. But that section is going quite well. The other series is a trilogy, and I have the first book lightly outlined. I have a good idea of what's gonna happen in the second book. I don't really know what's gonna happen in the third book. But the second book's not outlined. First book's not even fully outlined. The first book, like the romance section, is a lot more outlined than the actual plot section, like the external plot. So that's my problem. But Camp Nano is happening in like 2 weeks, and I'm gonna start writing it because essentially, like last week, I was adding to the outline and I got so excited. I wanted to start it so badly that I was like, no, I have to do these edits. So that's gonna be my reward. So I'm gonna be like really focusing on edits for the next 10 days. Hopefully I'll throw in a little bit of time in there to add to the outline, and then I'm going to jump into it for Camp Nano and start writing book 1. Not like all of it, like I just have like a small number in there to just get started on it. And knowing myself, I'm gonna start outlining book 2 as well, because that's just gonna happen. But yeah, for the rest of the spring, I'd say the real goal is just to have like an outline of the entire trilogy, so I kind of know where book 3 is ending, you know? Even though I don't plan on writing books 2 and 3 in the spring, just to have the outlines ready, or like mostly ready. Like they don't have to be as detailed as the original series that I've been writing, but like enough that I'm aware of what's going on and you know where I have to lead my characters. I think my goals are attainable in the writing section. I think it's a lot because let me tell you, I've been putting a lot on my plate, but I think they're attainable. And the final section I want to talk about today is my personal life, which is gonna be the longest section. I feel like, yeah, this channel is pretty much about my goal to get into indie authorhood, but it's also, you know, I do vlogs and it's about my personal life, so it's important. Plus, when I look back on this in 3 months, I'd be like, yep, I got that done in the 3-month section. I'm just rambling as an excuse, but like this is important. This is why there's a lot on this section. So if you didn't know, I'm graduating this spring. I graduate on May. Here's the thing. Pretty sure all schools have this. I don't know for sure, but at BU, all of the colleges graduate on one day, and then the entire school university is on a different day. So I'm always like, I don't know which day is my graduation, you know? Because the Questrom School's graduation is on May 14th, which is my cousin's birthday. It's on May 14th, but then the BU graduation is on May 16th. So I'm like, I graduate on May 15th. I don't know what day, but like I graduate that weekend. So the goal for this spring is to get a job, and I'm already doing quite well in this section because I've been in interviews past week and a half. I'm waiting to hear back from one of them this week. Well, 2 of them this week. So I feel like this one can definitely be achieved, and this one could probably be achieved sooner than, because a lot of the rest of them are more like works in progress, but this one could be achieved like quickly. And yeah, I will say though, I'm the type of person that I'm so good at conceptualizing things that the fear hasn't hit me, and I know the fear of not having a job wouldn't have hit me until like the week of graduation, maybe even the week after graduation. Like until I'm in the moment, I don't realize the extremity of situations, which is also why if you tell me something bad, I'm gonna be like, oh, okay. Like I just can't visualize it. I can't imagine it. So I have to be in the situation. So everybody freaking out about not having a job once graduation comes by, I'm like not in their boat. Like I have this one friend, I don't know if she's still freaking out. I don't think she's freaking out anymore, but like I feel like she was freaking out a little bit a couple months ago, and I didn't feel it. And I was like, is it weird for me not to feel it? Because all throughout university you hear people like those one or two people talking about they have a job in September that's lined up for June, but like you're over here in March and you still don't have a job. You hear that a lot and people freaking out, but it's March and I'm like, ah. So there's that. Plus, I think I've come to appreciate my value a lot more because I can definitely say before I would have probably just jumped on the first offer that was given just because I was like, I didn't believe in myself to be able to get something better, which I have done before, but like, we're not gonna talk about it. But because I didn't believe I would get a different offer, I was like, I need to jump on this, something is better than nothing. And something is better than nothing. But it's also important to believe in yourself because like just because one place offered me something doesn't mean everyone else isn't gonna offer it to me. They might not offer it to me, but like there's still the chance. I've also come to realize how important culture is gonna be. I definitely put importance on like compensation, but not like the highest importance. Anyway, that was a very long ramble to say the goal for spring is to get a job, and hopefully we'll have this part done soon enough. Goal number 2 is something I was actually doing quite well on this past like a month, and then this past week and a half-ish, I totally dropped the ball, and that's to stretch at least 4 times a week. I guess you'd call it yoga, but I also don't call it yoga because I don't follow any of the like yoga videos. I just get on my mat and I stretch everything for like half an hour. Sometimes just 15 minutes is fine, but like I try to do half an hour each time I do it, or like 15 minutes once and then later that day another 15 minutes. So I was doing pretty well on that. I was feeling better, and then right around midterm section I completely dropped it and I have not gotten back all up to it. So I definitely want to get back into it and stretch at least 4 times a week. In general, it's really good for you. My balance and flexibility. My flexibility is getting better. I actually do think my balance is getting better. It's still shit, but I think it's getting better. But on top of that, I have scoliosis, so it's also really good for me to stretch out my back. So it's just something really important for me. And it's so annoying. Every time I'm like really stressed out about something and I'm procrastinating doing it, if I procrastinate doing it with something productive, it stresses me out even more. So I procrastinate doing it with something not productive. Like basically, if I was procrastinating studying for my midterm, instead of doing something productive like stretching for half an hour and then getting back into it, I'd feel bad about myself for doing that. So I would go on my phone for the half hour instead, because I wasn't happy doing what I was doing, so it made me feel good about it's such a messed up way of thinking, but I dropped it and now I need to pick it back up. And the worst thing for me is once I drop something, like it's the starting section for me that's always the hardest for anything I do. So once I drop something, just picking it back up is the hardest part. So also, I say this in literally every video, but if you hear anything, my neighbors are loud. They're always stomping around, so I'm sorry, I can't do anything about it. So my next goal here is kind of related to the number 1. No, that was number 2. It's kind of related to number 2, and that's to go out on a walk or a jog. At least like twice a week. Like it could be one walk, one jog, be both walks, be both jogs, doesn't matter, just to go out and do it like twice a week, because I do live in Boston. And now that the winter's over, it's beautiful weather, first of all, so you want to go out for a walk. Like now that it's not depressing outside, I actually do like enjoy going out for walks, and it's just nice to be out there. And jogging is a whole different story. I do live in Boston, which is known for the Boston Marathon. So you actually do see a lot of runners outside. And I'm always like, oh, I want to join but your girl does not run. Your girl can barely run 5 steps. Like I run out of breath immediately. So I don't care. I want to get into it, but that'll definitely be something slow. I have been going out for walks probably more than twice a week. I always do one just naturally because it's a half-hour walk from my place to the skating rink on campus and another half-hour walk back. And every week I have skating, so I have to walk over there. So that does count. And then I usually go out for a second one too. But I want to start incorporating that more than twice a week. First of all, I just have twice a week there for like a base level. More than twice a week, but I also want to do the jogging twice a week. So it doesn't have to be anything like huge, just like a little bit more. Because when everything's over, I would like to end up doing another 5K and then maybe a 10K at some point. I have done a 5K before. I did it in 2019, fall of 2019. My dumbass did that shit with no training too, so it was not fun. But I have done it. So I figure with a little bit of training, once everything's back open, I can go do another one. And then I can eventually do a 10K. I do not plan on ever getting to a marathon because that's ludicrous. But that is my goal. This next one I have here actually came up because, was it last week or the week? It was last week. There was a baseball team playing across from where I live. And I went to it for like half an hour. I gave myself that little break with studying to go to it. Even though I found out afterward you're not allowed to be there, but I don't care. I'm still gonna keep going. I went to it and I was just like so content. And I was like, yo, I have to put this in my, like, I have to make this a regular thing to go out and do something because back in 2019, when I was living here, I went out all the time. Like, just a general walk around Boston, which is also why I was probably like a little bit thinner back then because I was always walking. But I want to be going out and doing stuff. So like, how many times did I put here? Twice a week? Oh, let's start it off at once a week, but like twice a week at some point. To like go to a baseball game and just sit there and watch. To go to like a museum. To just go walking on Newburgh Street and let's not buy anything. Let's not waste the money. But just like go into shops and stuff like that. Like, I'd like to go do, springtime Boston Commons is beautiful. So maybe do that. Like, I just would like to start doing stuff around the city. And I feel like the harder part on that is I don't have friends. So, like, it makes it a lot harder to want to go do anything. Because when I had my friends come visit me, let me tell you, we were having a great time. And I wanted to go out and do stuff. But, like, I don't have friends. So kind of like, yeah, you can do it alone, which I do end up doing everything alone, but it's never the same as doing it with a friend. But at this point, like, I can't do anything about that because the easiest way to make friends is through school, and I did not even make friends through school, so I'm not gonna have friends. But I'd still like to experience Boston, so I work twice a week. That might be pushing it, but like 1 or 2 times a week, I like to go out and actually do something around Boston. Even if it's the same thing a few times, it's still going out and doing stuff. So, and maybe that way we'll make friends. I don't know. Okay, and the last thing I have here is something I think I just threw on a few days ago. And I'm sure I have way more goals than this, but like I can't think of any at the moment. So we're just gonna stick to these. The last one I have here is just to get some of my certifications done. And that's like Google search, Google shopping, Facebook ads, all of that. And I figure, one, it looks nice on the resume, even though I might even have a job before that. It's still good on the resume for like future, but also you can use those certifications, you can use what you learned and go freelance your work and go like, I can do Facebook ads for a small business I was gonna say around Boston, but I could probably do it for anyone. But just in general, I could end up freelancing that work, and getting the certifications are free. So I could get the certifications, freelance my work after I learned actually how to do it, because you take the certification, I've like started taking it. They don't actually teach you how to do it. They just tell you what everything is. And I'm like, okay, so I need to go mess up someone's business real quick so I can learn how to do it. And then we'll start picking it up. But whatever. I figure on like Fiverr or something like that, I can post some freelance. I'll set up your Facebook ads kind of thing for you. Plus, in the future, when I'm actually publishing, it'll be nice to know how to do Facebook ads. So it kind of all works out together. But yeah, my goal is to get those certifications. I have recently gotten my CPR certification. It has nothing to do with anything. Like, it's not actually going to be useful for anything. I think it's an important thing to know. And I figured I might as well just get the certification, because it's the same as like whether you get certification or not. The only difference is you had to go in to actually try on the dummies. So I was like, even I want to try on the dummy, like why would I not come? So I got that certification. My Google Shopping one is technically homework, so I'm almost done with it. I've gone through the lesson. I just need to take the exam, which I already took, and I failed because I took like the lessons in the test before and after midterms. So I was going through the test and I was like, that was not in the lesson. Like, what is this talking about? And then afterward, I was like, oh, that was in the lesson. It's just I don't remember because I was studying for midterms for so long that it just left. So we're gonna go review it and then take the exam again. I was off by like 2%. It was, oh my god. But whatever. So those were my like 10, 11 goals. I don't actually know how much it was. It's pretty much just because I grouped so much together in the writing section that I don't know. But like 10, 11 goals, I think they're all achievable. I think the hardest ones are definitely gonna be the ones in the personal life. Because I always end up prioritizing career and all like stuff like that over myself. So I will prioritize writing, I will prioritize doing work, I'll prioritize all that over me going out and experiencing something or me going out for a walk, stuff like that. So I think they're all achievable. I think the personal life section is gonna be the hardest, but it'll be fine, you know, it'll be fine. But yes, we have come to an end now, and I would like to thank anyone and everyone for watching and finishing this video if you did. If you did enjoy it, I'd like to ask you to like it, possibly, maybe subscribe. Get me to those 5. Get me to, if once we're at 5, you can really think about it, but like get me to those 5, and then you could be like, just ignore me all you want, but like get me to 5 so I can show up on Social Blade, my friends.